Hey everyone, this is Tony Dow with Pharmacy IT and Me, and today's episode is actually going to be an interview that I did with Dr. Parisa Vatanka from the California Pharmacists Association about the Digital Health Conference. It's actually a rebroadcast of an episode from the OCPHA podcast, which I also host. So hope you guys enjoy. You are listening to Pharmacy IT and Me, your informatics pharmacist podcast. Today, we will be speaking with our special guest, Dr. Parisa Vatanka, who is a trustee of the California Pharmacists Association, and we'll also be talking about the upcoming Digital Health Conference that's being hosted by CPHA. So thank you again so much for being on the show, Parisa. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be on this podcast. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, my pleasure. And just for the listeners to get a little bit better of an understanding about you, can you go over some of your background and I guess some of your career history?
Sure. I'm a pharmacist for over 20 years now. I received my PharmD from the University of Kansas and completed a PGY1 residency at the University of California, San Francisco, UCSF, and a PGY2 administrative pharmacy residency at Stanford. My residency training that brought me to the beautiful state of California. I always like to mention my experiential training as well. While I was in school, I spent a couple summers with the United States Public Health Service, Indian Health Service, both on Navajo Indian Reservation and in their headquarters office in Maryland. So I had the good fortune that early on, when I was just first becoming a pharmacist, I got exposed to pharmacists who were integrated on the care team, maximally utilized for their knowledge and expertise in medication therapy and optimizing outcomes.
So thank you for sharing that. And I guess what kind of additional experiences and steps did you take to kind of like get to where you are today?
Thanks for asking. Yeah, so those early experiences really were eye-opening, and I saw pharmacists working to the top of their education and training. And so in every job that I've had ever since, I've always been working to support pharmacists integrated in team-based care and looking to advance the profession. So I've worked in roles in academia and working with national chain pharmacies and a device manufacturer and even a National Professional Association, all working to support, advocate for the pharmacist, elevate our role in optimizing treatment outcomes and contributing to a healthier society.
Awesome. So also from my understanding, you're a trustee of the California Pharmacists Association. And I was curious about kind of like what made you decide to pursue that route and kind of become a trustee, become part of the California Pharmacists Association.
I'm so proud that it's over 5 years now that I've been on the board of trustees of the California Pharmacists Association. CPHA staff is absolutely exceptional. We've got amazing leadership with our CEO, John Roth, and all of our board members. California always has been a leader when it comes to the profession of pharmacy, and it's been extremely rewarding being part of the board and part of shaping our practice today and looking ahead to the future.
That's awesome. And speaking about the future, we do have that conference coming up for digital health. And I guess, can you kind of like tell our listeners a little bit more about that? Where I guess like, can we start off with defining what digital health is?
Digital health is a term that describes the intersection between health and technology. All different types of technologies are emerging that engage patients for health-related purposes. So this is a rapidly evolving area. It's an exciting time. Right now, we're calling it digital health, but I imagine as these technologies become more mainstream, we'll just call it healthcare. It will be the new norm on how we deliver care.
That's awesome. And I guess the next question kind of relating to that is, what does pharmacy have to do with it? How is pharmacy being integrated into digital health? And I'm sure that's going to be shown or discussed at the conference, but maybe you can give like a little bit of like a summary beforehand.
Yeah, that's exactly the aim of this conference, is to talk about the new technologies that are in the marketplace and that continue to evolve, and invite pharmacists to come together to learn more about these and really share perspectives. We're interested in hearing pharmacists' voice on how they see integrating these technologies into pharmacy practice today and how these technologies may help to shape our future role and kind of our position in the healthcare ecosystem. I can share a little bit more about what we mean when we say digital health, some examples.
that would actually be very helpful because I think a lot of the pharmacists or pharmacy students maybe are a little bit confused about what digital health is. And I mean, for me, when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, digital health, like it's healthcare, but it's digital, but what exactly is it? So it's a little bit of like better understood if there are some examples.
Sure. Yeah. So again, this is a term that's being used right now sort of as an umbrella term, right? And then there's a number of categories that would fall under this that I believe will be very familiar to your listeners. So one category is mHealth or mobile health, right? So this is apps for nutrition or adherence, fitness trackers. Another area is your specialty, health information technology, right? So EMR, e-prescribing. Still another area that would fall under the digital health umbrella is telemedicine. So virtual care visits. Another emerging area is category of devices, sensors, wearables. So think of biometric sensors and diagnostic products. More and more pharmacists are going to start seeing sensors embedded in pills and in inhalers that record and communicate the time and date of when the patient took the medication. So it's pretty exciting because you can imagine it really changed the adherence discussions that we're having now. Once we really have visibility to specific information and be able to have those conversations with patients to help support them in self-management of their conditions. Yet another area fall under the realm of digital health would be personalized healthcare. Again, a super exciting area where we're really customizing care to the individual because there's so much data that will be at our fingertips now. So things like pharmacogenomics, patient-reported outcomes, predictive analytics, looking at social determinants of health, really looking at how we can, again, start to customize the care we provide. And finally, under this umbrella of digital health is the area of digital therapeutics, which is software as medicine. There's a prescription digital therapeutic for opioid use disorder that provides cognitive behavioral therapy that can be prescribed as an adjunct to medication-assisted treatment. So truly exciting to see these new types of digital health solutions emerging. And again, this conference is an opportunity to take a deeper dive and look at the different technologies that exist and really start to consider how can we integrate these to augment the care we provide today and look at how it might shape our future role.
That's really cool. That's like, I'm pretty impressed with CPHA's initiative on digital health. I'm not really familiar if I've heard of any other organization that's doing this. So it's really innovative for CPHA to do this. And I was also curious to ask you about like, what are some of the key takeaways that CPHA is aiming for pharmacists who are attending this digital health conference?
This conference is an invitation to pharmacists across the country to come and join us in a dialogue to look at the tremendous potential in the digital health technology that exists today and that continues to evolve, and look at how we can integrate these technologies to augment the care we provide our patients today, look at how it will shape the future of our profession. You know, Tony, if you think about it, we've really entered a digital age, from how we access music or stream movies, how we get a ride across town or find a place to stay, across the world, right? So this whole Internet of Things is bringing information and resources within reach like no other time in history. And so, it's only natural now that in healthcare delivery that we take a closer look at these emerging technologies and look to see how it can augment the care we provide. A lot of these technologies, as you'll see, are taking us from this unpredictable episodic care model that we're in today to an opportunity with more data, more continuous information, getting us to a state of proactive continuous care.
That's awesome. So my next question is, what's the role of CPHA in terms of digital health, and what else is CPHA trying to do to kind of like expand the knowledge base or expand the exposure of digital health?
Yeah, so CPHA is beginning with this inaugural conference, day and a half of keynote speakers and continuing education on the basics of what is digital health, digital medicine, digital therapeutics. Where does AI and data analytics fit into all of this? And we're going to have panel discussions, exhibitors from the different companies that have digital health solutions so that we can start to touch and feel these products and start to kind of visualize how we might integrate them into our practices today and in the future. We're also going to have discussions on pharmacy careers in digital health and hear from pharmacists that have bridged into that space today. And also a roundtable where we kind of look at, okay, what is it going to take for pharmacists to integrate these new solutions, like educational gaps, maybe there be any legislative, regulatory elements when it comes to looking at pharmacists' authority to prescribe products, perhaps, or where our role would be, also looking at the business model, the payment, all of the different elements for a viable patient care service. So we're really looking forward to just the interactive nature of this conference. It's a place for pharmacists to gather, to learn, and to share their voice and perspective. So I think that's kind of where CPHA is looking to take a leadership role in offering this conference.
So if people wanted to know more about the conference, can you give us a little bit more detail about when the conference is and where it is and maybe where they can register?
Yeah, so a conference will be this October 12th and 13th in Garden Grove. And if you go to the CPHA website at cpha.com, right on the opening page, you will see Digital Health Conference, and you click on that, and it takes you to the agenda, and it has information about our exceptional speakers and their bios. One of our keynote speakers, Aaron Black, is a Chief Digital Officer at Innova. His expertise in precision medicine, pharmacogenomics. Many of your listeners may be familiar with Tim Onk, who blogs on the Digital Apothecary, who's a true thought leader in digital health integration and pharmacy. We're looking forward to hearing from him. And one of our own California pharmacists, Kamal Patel, who's working in a company that has AI-driven robotic health coach to help in transitions of care. I could go on and on. There's Kevin Rodondi of UCSF with expertise in innovative care delivery models and entrepreneurship. And Jake Nichols, who is a substance use disorder specialist with experience in digital therapeutics. And we've got Brad Tice, who's working at AspenRx Health, where we're really looking at, through app-based platform, connecting pharmacists with patients and really transforming the way we provide care. Una Kim, you're based in California, a CEO and founder of Arene, leveraging predictive analytics, data-driven clinical services, and Jeff Maceros from CVS Health, and giving kind of a legislative regulatory look on the whole ecosystem. So all-star cast of thought leaders, and there's going to be opportunity for attendees to talk with and interact with these speakers, share perspectives. We're really excited.
That's really cool. So I'll be putting all that information in the show notes for the listeners who are interested in this conference, and you guys can register by going to that link. But, before we go, do you have any closing thoughts about, maybe the vision for the profession, the vision for digital health, and also the vision of CPHA and its role in the whole digital health advancement?
I think that right now, the possibilities are really limitless in terms of what can be done. If we just look in our own lives in the last, 10, 12 years, it's been transformative. We've entered a new era of possibilities at this intersection of health and technology. And as more and more devices, sensors, wearables, digital therapeutics enter the market, I think pharmacists are going to see more and more of this entering their practice and having this opportunity to really transform the quality and scope of the care we can provide. Pharmacists are the most accessible, most frequently visited healthcare provider. Nearly 90% of the population lives within, 5 miles of a pharmacy. And so we've always had that rapport, that relationship with our patients. And I think that these new technologies are going to help us to even take that to the next level. Again, going from episodic to continuous care. I can see how some of these technologies will actually help shift the model and free up our time in a way to do what, we're uniquely qualified to do, and that's to help partner with patients and helping them to optimize their medication therapy. So I think there's a bright future for us. And the key, though, is the time is now. This is not, 5 years from now. It's right now that we have FDA-cleared products that are entering the market. We have digital medicines, digital therapeutics, we have sensors, wearables, all of this, they're here. And we want pharmacists to come together. Let's look at these. Let's look at how we can integrate them in our practice today and really help to shape the future.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And, also to be respectful of your time, I'd like to thank you again for, taking some time out of your busy day to not only share your story, but also share the information about the upcoming digital health conference and also your vision for it. And, I'm sure our listeners have learned a lot from just listening to today's episode. Hopefully, maybe some of the listeners out there who are more interested can learn even more when they attend the digital health conference. So thank you so much again.
Thank you.
All right. If you guys like this episode, you can subscribe and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or any of your other favorite podcasting services. You can also follow us on social media on Twitter or Facebook at PharmacyITme or Instagram at Pharmacy Informatics or by emailing me at tony@pharmacyitme.com. Thank you again for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of Pharmacy ITme. And remember, technology is the tool, patient care is the goal.